hello and welcome to this week's interview. So we are going to be posting it on Friday next week as well, but you get to see it live here first. So today I'm talking to Manifesting Queen and our collective member as well. Woo, woo, as Marie was saying, woo, 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 woo. Big up to Severine or Sev, because this lady is just amazing, right? Just amazing, like an angel.
Oh, like bless you, my head. My God, can you see it swelling?
It's like going, soak it in.
I know, it's like, bring it on. Thank you. I'm ready.
Soak in the love.
Too funny. You okay, my love?
But yeah, you know what? It's just really great to have you on. Now, we would have been on at 11 on StreamYard. StreamYard wasn't working, unfortunately, for us. We did then try and come in live into the community. That wasn't working. The universe had other ideas, so obviously it wanted us to record on Zoom instead. God knows why, but there'll be a reason. There's always a reason.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, so we're just going to roll with it today. So I'm going to interview Sev. She's been in this week. Have you seen her posts? Have you seen her posts? Because there are something to be looking at and watching right at this moment in time. You're going to get some really great tips. And she had a free gift for you all as well. So have you grabbed your free gift too, which is going to help you in your business to create more money and enable you to expand what a lot of people call is your container. So we always have like a certain amount that we can expand to, and we just have to keep expanding each time and just widening out the container each time. But Sev is your woman to help you with that. So welcome.
Oh my God, what an introduction. Girl, I like it. Thank you.
Just showing you as the amazing woman that you are.
Bless you. Thank you for the compliment. And it's been amazing being in the group this week. So thank you for having me on. Yeah, it's been great.
Oh, and you know what? I wanted to do this because I kind of feel like, I'm advertising everyone else and everyone else's businesses, but then I'm not like looking at, I'm not like looking right in front of me. Like the women that are in the, in the collective, any women that I work with, they're the ones really who you're all experts in your own right. You're all experts in your own right. So why am I not like going, here's this, come and see this person, go follow them. They're amazing. Go check out their programs and stuff. Why would I not do that?
Do you know what? That actually shows you for who you are. And I know that we're not here to actually pass on, compliment back and forth. This is not the end of it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. But then for everyone else as well, listening out there, this is, this is a space of, as you said, expansion. The universe is, always expanding. So we are part of the universe and we need to do that too. And part of expansion is actually understanding that abundance is out there. There is enough for everyone. There are enough clients, there's enough money, there's enough business, there's enough of everything. So working on a collaboration basis rather than the competition basis actually expands your energetic container that you've mentioned earlier. So that says a lot for you and for the business that, you're creating and you're expanding every day, because you are able to recognize this. And this is one of the first steps of manifesting, because it cleans that energy. So you don't have that fighting inside of you, that's like, oh, but look at her. What is she doing? Oh, it's so similar to me. Oh, but what about if they like her more than they like me? Yeah. And then your ego pipes up and all those limiting beliefs in your subconscious. So this is amazing.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to accept that compliment. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And it's so true, because the thing is, at the end of the day, there's enough people to go around. And I've always said this as well, not everyone is going to come and work with us. Not everyone is going to come work with us. And they're waiting for other people. So why not just keep sharing like different people, different things, because people have to find their people. And when they find their people, then you're like, then they're happy.
Yeah.
Then they're happy. And that does work into manifesting, doesn't it? It's just
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because the more you're celebrating someone else's success, you are growing, you are getting closer to your own success, because it's celebrating that same energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, there's no world of competition. There's only the world of working together. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously people have read, bits about you during this week, but for those that may have missed out on some of the posts.
Where have you been?
Yes. So true. You know what? Exactly. So just give us a small amount of your story today, because obviously we've only got about 30 minutes. I've not even set me bloody time. I'll look at it now. Right. My timer's on. Go.
Okay, fabulous. Right. Crikey. Well, I originate from France, and I'm not going to go through my whole story, but growing up was extremely difficult. We had no money. I had to go and steal food at the supermarket with my mom to put, food on the table. My father was an alcoholic, and then he drank every single penny that was coming into the house, which was like next to zero. So I grew up with that money mindset. Like, seriously, you almost screwed before you start, right? Excuse my French, which is not French really, but you know what I mean. So obviously I had so much work, so much inner work to do on myself. And it's taken me, a good 3 decades to realize that I was repeating the patterns that I had learned growing up, the rubbish relationships, because that's what I witnessed my parents growing up, the rubbish money mindset. Even when I had any sort of money coming in, it was coming out anyway. It had to go, because subconsciously, this is what I was wired to. And it's taken me, I would go even 4 decades, because I'm 45. And I've always been a student of the universe, because I've always had a feeling of like, surely this cannot be it. It can't be just it. I wasn't born just for this. To struggle, this is impossible. And I've always had this at the back of my mind. And I've always been a student of the law of attraction and the universe. And it's when I've really kind of delved into it, into a deeper level, that I've realized how much I was missing out, how much I was leaving on the table, and how much everyone else is living on the table. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about health. I'm talking about happiness. I'm talking about everything put together, because we have the right to have everything that we want, but we need to reprogram what we have, because the subconscious, as you know, is what rules our lives. Yeah. From conception, our subconscious has been imprinted with everything we've heard, everything we've seen, everything we've witnessed. And because we are children, we don't really understand the right and wrong, and we can't put our own spin on it. We just accept it as it is.
Absolutely.
So in a nutshell, that's me.
No, but that is so true. I mean, like, even I had a chat with someone I had an amazing podcast with someone this morning, and we were talking about triggering and what happens to the body when it's triggered, and the subconscious thoughts that are in the way that stop us from listening. So sometimes we're always asking about being listened to, but sometimes if we get a subconscious thought that's triggered, we then end up not listening to ourselves. So there's so much in this, but you explain everything in such an amazing and really, really simple way as well, to help people move forward, because that's the thing, isn't it, about moving forward. I talk about it from a physical point of view, in your hips and your knees and your ankles, that movement forward, because your legs are going that way, and that's usually where the brain starts to pinpoint. But in manifesting terms, if someone's looking to move forward in their life, maybe right now they're stuck. That's quite a buzzword at this moment, isn't it? Being stuck in the same place. What would you say to them?
I would ask them to look at their desires. What do they want? But then look at it from an authentic point of view. Because when we look at something, we have two visions. We look at it from the ego's perspective. That's like, oh, you can't do this. You're not good enough for this. Oh, you'll fail. You're never going to get anywhere. Who are you? Yeah. So we're like, well, okay, then maybe I don't want this. Or looking at it from, that inner self, that intuition, that gut feeling, that heart. How do you feel when you think about what you want in life? And then looking from that perception, right? And then analyze, where are you? What is stopping you? Yeah. Because if we actually sit down, I did a live in the group yesterday. When you actually sit down and really ask yourself, why do you feel like this? Why are you pissed off? Why are you depressed? Why are you angry? What is it? And we actually, shine the light on something, then it makes much more sense. And then, we become aligned, which is another buzzword. Are you aligned? What does that even mean? And then, I did a live in my group on this earlier this week, because so many people talk about it. But then that means that your feelings, your behaviors, your desires, and your goals, your energy field has to form a line. That's basically what it means. Why can't be over here and the other here? It needs to be congruent with each other. And that's basically what that means. So if you're not taking the actions that are actually going to take you forward to your desires, then you need to sit back and look, what is stopping me? And this is when we start analyzing about the limiting beliefs, our thought patterns, the habits that we've created. And then we can find a little bit more information and then take actions and then always move forward, even if it's just 1% a day. At the end of the year, you won't recognize, where you are. You'll be completely different.
Absolutely. It comes down to that compound effect, isn't it? It who did that book? Was it Darren Hardy or someone? The compound effect, where you take like those small little steps every day make a massive difference. And even just those small little steps every single day make a massive difference, because then you look back and you go, oh my God, look how far I've come from like that point over there. And I bet you anyone who's watching this right now, no matter where you are in your life, in your finances, on your journey, whatever you're doing, you could look back maybe 10 years ago and you're in a completely different place to where you were then.
Oh God,
so now.
I was on welfare 10 years ago. Yeah. I left my first husband with my 2 young children. My little girl was only 15 months at the time, no family in the UK, and I was completely on my own. But I knew that wasn't the place to be. I knew that I had to leave. And look at me now. Yeah. So, looking at the compound effect, absolutely. Yeah. So that's a great exercise to actually ask people to take note and review how far you've come and celebrate that.
Exactly, because it puts you in a better position. You start to feel happier, and I think, and everyone says it, positivity makes a massive difference. But as we both know, facing what's going on, because you did an amazing exercise this week, and I don't know how anyone's missed. I think Barbara's seen it, but anyone else, if you're in this community, go to this exercise, because it's a lot, even I do this as well, just sitting down with myself, but just facing the emotion, because it wants to be listened to, and the less that it's listened to, the bigger that it gets, you were saying. So yes, and it's just such a great exercise to do,
and it's so simple, and it's so quick to do, and everyone can find 5 minutes to do this. Everyone. You don't have to be qualified in anything. You don't have to, just gift yourself that time gift yourself that gift of vision, so then you can expand and move forward. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think, you know, like those expansions, they are scary moments, aren't they?
Oh,
yeah. we both know this. But they're scary moments, because sometimes it just means looking inwards rather than always seeing what's around on the outside. And they are like those like freaky moments. Oh, I'm not good enough, and all these feelings come up. But all that we're doing is just stretching a little bit.
Yeah,
we're just stretching that little bit further. And, you know, having someone like Severine in your life, you know, helps you stretch that a little bit more further. But then you start to manifest more. I think the more you manifest, the more you're kind of like on the edge going, I don't know whether to go, but I really want that thing.
Yeah.
So you do stretch that little bit further in the end, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And then that just reinforces that self-esteem and that self-belief that, well, actually, yes, it is possible for me. And why not me? And suddenly your internal conversation with your mind changes, because that's all that it is. We don't talk to our mind the right way. Yeah, that's what it is ultimately, that, you know, so then it's like, oh yeah, I did that. So why not? Oh, okay. And then you just get that energy, actually expands. Your energy field expands, and you're like, and suddenly you just become more of an attraction for people, for events, for situations, for partnerships, for whatever you want. Yeah. And that happens quickly. It doesn't take years to get there. That's, you know, the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, and that means, you know, reaching out to people sometimes. Yeah. That really does, you know, having the balls to like reach out to people.
Yeah.
No, because I'm going to tell them, right? Because I reached out to you, didn't I? And I invited Sev to my event, but that was me like kind of stretching out and going to the universe. I'm asking, because when you show the universe, like, I'm prepared to invite people and I'm asking, the universe will go, oh, fucking hell, she's fucking inviting people. She obviously means business. We'll send her some people. Yeah. We'll send her some people, because she's actually going around inviting people to, you know, to look at something or do something. And these are the things that sometimes, you know, freak me out, that's for sure. You know, it freaks us out, because we don't know how people are going to react to stuff. We don't know what people are going to be like or anything. That can trigger up abandonment issues, rejection, and things like that. But I know there's a lot of you in this community right at this moment in time who are literally stepped up a level and a half, and maybe an extra level above that, and you're at that point where you're going, oh, I don't know whether to, and even if you're just inviting someone, I don't know whether to ask that person, don't know, you know, just ask. Ask if you know them well. That's the thing. If you've got an idea of who they are, ask. You're showing the universe. That's what I've learned recently anyway. Yeah. We were talking about the last 7 days. Yeah. It was about asking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Asking, because if you ask, you've got more chance of it coming to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because ultimately we are co-creators. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just, you know, I was on a podcast last night and we were talking about something very similar. And it was all about, obviously, around the law of attraction. And I referred the book, The Secret, which over the 10 years, it just the last decade exploded the spiritual world and people's knowledge and stuff. And I've read all the whole series of Rhonda, right? Yeah. I really, really like that book. But what's actually created? It created a feeling for people that the universe is like Santa Claus. The universe is like Father Christmas. I'm going to write a list. I'm going to send it to the and it's going to come and it's going to land on my plate. And when it doesn't, people are like, dude, where's my stuff? Yeah, but the thing that is actually taken away is the responsibility that people have to take action. We are co-creators. Yeah, co-creators, that mean we can't just sit here and have a sandwich waiting for it to land on our plate. We have to take actions. And sometimes it's going to be a no.
Yeah.
But a no is a delay. A no is a delay. It's not a denial on what you do. It's a delay. It just shows the universe that actually you're serious. You really want that stuff. You're ready to put yourself out there and be seen. And you're like, okay, she means business. Let's do it. And then it's that co-creation side of it. Totally.
Absolutely. Because I think, like I kind of have this idea. A lot of people think that action is almost like this strategy sometimes, or set of like loads of things to do, but the action may not even be as big as what you think it is. The action may just be inviting a few people or something like that. It may not even, or even just putting something out there. That could just be the action. There is so much stuff like you gotta do all this stuff and etc., and that's not the case. But if you take an action on, like, you get an idea. I don't know if any of you's had a download. Now Sev knows so much about these downloads, right? And you have a download, and that download, you then go, that's the thing I'm going to take action on. The thing I'm going to take action on. And then you take action on it, and then you put it out there. That's the action. Step the foot back now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Step back, detach.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. I think that I tell anyone who's willing to listen is that if you have a feeling, if you have a calling to be somebody, to do something, or to have something, means you have the ability to make it happen. Yeah, it's I've never in a million years thought about being a nurse or a doctor or a carpenter or a postman or whatever it is. I've never had that calling. Never. But I've always had the calling of being a teacher, because I want to teach, and my path has taken me through the academic route, and I'm a qualified teacher, and now I've expanded to teaching something else. But that's been my calling. I've never wanted to be a firefighter or anything else. So if you have that calling, that means you have the ability to make it happen.
Wow. Yes. Yes. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And that's when you'll start doing stuff, and you'll notice things starting to come together. And if you journal and you look, say, maybe 2 to 3 years ago, or maybe a year ago in your journal, if you've not been journaling for long, or maybe a few months ago, you may notice that you've already done some of the things that you've already predicted. So to speak. You've predicted your own future in advance.
But it is. No, it's not weird at all, because some of the things that I teach as well is like that looking back. It's almost like the timeline, and you actually I take my clients in a few months in advance, and they're like, you see the life that you want to manifest, and now it's like, well, turn around and see, what did you do to get you where you are now?
Oh my God, yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, I did this and this, and well, now come back to the present time and get on with it. Do it. Take actions. Yeah. Because you now have a bigger vision. You now know what you need to be doing. And this is exactly what you've said. It's predicting your future life. Yeah. What you need to do.
And you'll then, because I know that there's been a lot of people who are confused recently as well. It's a lot of people confused, frustrated, not knowing where to go. They can't see it yet. And sometimes that's quite a nicky stage to be in, isn't it? Yeah. Do you have any advice for those?
Yes, that's an ego. That's, looking again at that vision, at that perception of the ego. Everything, we've had this discussion in the past that what you see is a perception. The way I see the world may be different to the way you see the world, and you're sitting next to me. We're looking at the same thing. I might see that beautiful, green tree that's blossoming and stuff, and you might see the rubbish on the floor, but we're looking at exactly the same park scene. Yeah. So it's all about perception. And the thing that I say as well is, instead of trying to get away from lack, to get away from fear, to get away from, disappointment. And I'm standing here and I probably sound a little bit condescending, but I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to come back. I know what it's like to go to bed hungry because you have to choose between food and electricity and heating for your kids, right? Yeah. So I'm not being condescending because I know that it can happen. But instead of trying to get away from fear, from lack, because that's all you focus on, shift it and go towards abundance. What you have, it's all that thing about being grateful. And I think that's just been taken too much out of proportion. So instead of being grateful and people, oh yeah, I'm grateful for my cup of tea, I'm grateful for my light, be appreciative instead. Appreciate. And that's a different energy. It's a very slight shift, but it's a different energy. So you really appreciate that you have a roof over your head. Yeah, blimmin' heck, a lot of people don't. I appreciate that I have electricity, that I can speak to beautiful people. Do you see what I mean? It's energy.
Absolutely. And and I think we have so much appreciation for the stuff that's going on in this world.
Yeah.
I know, like, obviously we've gone through like a pandemic and stuff, but there's a lot of things that have been really good.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of great moments, and there's so much to be appreciated and to appreciate around, in and around what's happened. Yeah, I might moan about, we might moan about our kids, but we still managed to spend some time with them. Yeah. But we still managed to spend some time with them, during these times. And there's so much to appreciate in that. Our jobs may have changed. If it wasn't, and if it wasn't for, lockdown happening, maybe we wouldn't have done the stuff that we're doing now. No? So we might have been still in the same position. We wouldn't be like kind of pushing ourselves up, pushing ourselves out a little bit further or anything like that. So yeah, I like that. I like the shift.
Yeah. And again, it's a very slight shift. It's like putting on a different shade of glasses and look at it differently. You don't like what you see? Well, change your glasses and see, look at it again. It's like
change the lens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And another thing about obviously with hypnotherapy, I'm a complete geek when it comes to the mind and the subconscious, that humans are wired, they're hardwired to go back to what is familiar. Yeah. And I think I've popped a post in the group this week about this, regardless of how unpleasant life is. So, if you've been in debt for years or for decades, you'll go back to it because that's the way you're wired. It is what you are familiar with. Yeah, it's the way we are wired. So again, we need to change, that communication we have with our mind to start implementing the things that we want that actually are unfamiliar at this moment in time. But that's about creating a new habit. Yeah. So what can I do to make this come through? Yeah. Again, just a very slight shift, but you get humongous results with that.
Absolutely. And I think it's, I think these little shifts, they just make such a difference. Such a difference to how we live our life, how we go through life, how our mindset is, how we kind of like move forward, how we carry on, how we do all these things. And you know what? You've just been a wealth of information this week. No, I mean, like in a really great way. Like there's just been some really fantastic, tips to be following with. How have you found it in the collective?
The collective is amazing. I'm not one who just, go through and said, oh, she's lovely. And, I celebrate people, but I'm also very straightforward. So when I really, really like something, I have to say it as it is. And this is why I felt really compelled to write that post yesterday. And, and then if I don't want to say something, we go, that's lovely that. And I won't go out of my way to. No. But, what comes out of my mouth is true. And being in a collective, is that very sacred place that, you know, you are safe, you know, people support one another, and there's like that mixture of, and this is what I wrote, that reconnection between the mind and the body, yeah, to actually have that complete mind, soul, body alignment again. So then we, you know, it's all on the same page.
Yeah.
And this is what we have in the collective. Yeah. So, you know, we be talking about this, that, and then we be talking about something else. But then there's that correlation. And then it makes sense. And they're like, oh yeah.
and that's the thing, you know, like I think sometimes the physicality side of things is almost like kind of pushed to one side, and like we have this like really great mindset and spirituality, but then the physicality is almost like on the outside of it. But when we bring them all together, it just makes a great thing, doesn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
It's like super powerful. What would be, you know what, I'm going to ask you, what is your, oh my gosh, what is your favorite thing to do?
Personally?
Yeah. So we know something about you.
My favorite thing to do is probably singing and dancing at the same time.
Yay!
I am not a very good singer. In my youth, I used to be an entertainer for air tours, and part of being an entertainer, you have to sing. And I had a standing ovation. Yeah, I was singing. I was a rep in Portugal. I had a standing ovation for being so out of tune that I got cheered for my efforts. Not many people can say that.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
But then that's very much about, do you know what? Who cares if I'm out of tune or not? It just, it makes me feel good. And I dance, you know, with my little girl all the time. And then, you know, my husband's going to walk in the room and then we're there, you know, rocking it to the Trolls or to Miraculous or whatever it may be. Yeah. And it's ace. And it's not taking myself seriously.
I love it. I love it. But that is the beauty, isn't it, of just life in general. Just dancing, going crazy, and it doesn't matter if you can, you know, how you sing or anything like that. What matters is just how happy you are. So thank you so much for being here today.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me this week. It's been amazing. And thank you to everyone who's actually, you know, watched and commented. And I hope that you got, you know, some juicy shifts, some juicy insight, you know, and hacks and stuff, you know, with regards to mindsets and the law of attraction in general. So it's been great. Thanks, Trina.
I think everyone has, for sure. Honestly, if you haven't seen Sev's post now, go and check them out. And next week, so I mean, Sev, you know, if you want to post something for the rest of the day, do so. More than welcome. Next week we have the fabulous Charlotte Fitzgerald here. So she's going to be talking about Pilates and pelvic floors. So amazing. Yeah, exactly. Amazing. So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for everyone who's watched today. So speak soon. Bye.
Thank you.